The 1977 Philippine 1 Piso coin stands as a powerful symbol of the country's economic direction during a period of both transformation and turmoil. Struck during the presidency of Ferdinand Marcos, this coin is not just a medium of exchange, it's a piece of history, representing political, social, and economic contexts that shaped the Philippines during the latter half of the 20th century. The 1 Piso coin released in 1977 belongs to the Bagong Lipunan series, translated as the New Society, which was introduced in 1975. This series of coins aimed to promote a sense of national unity, strength, and reform under the martial law regime of Ferdinand Marcos. The Bagong Lipunan campaign was central to President Marcos' rule during martial law 1970 to 1981. Coins from this era reflected his government's messaging and were intended to symbolize progress, discipline, and nationalism. The inscription Bagong Lipunan on the reverse side of the coin was a direct reference to this political narrative. Features the left-facing bust of José Rizal, the Philippines' national hero. Rizal was a scholar, reformist, and martyr who was executed by Spanish authorities in 1896. His image on the coin signifies national pride, sacrifice, and intellectual excellence. The coin was minted by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, Central Bank of the Philippines, which undertook extensive minting during the late 1970s to phase out older currency and replace it with the politically branded New Society designs. The 1 Piso of 1977 saw wide circulation across the archipelago, used in everyday trade, markets, and public transport. 1977, the Philippines was under martial law, and the economy was heavily centralized. Inflation, unemployment, and political unrest were issues faced by Filipinos. Yet the government sought to present a facade of growth and progress, and the new coinage was part of this image. Building. Despite widespread poverty and inequality, the image of Rizal and the slogan Bagong Lipunan were intended to inspire a sense of unity, even as civil liberties were being curtailed. The 1977 1 Piso coin is an iconic piece for collectors. The coin is often collected not just for its design, but for the rich context surrounding its minting. 1983, a new coin series was introduced, phasing out the Bagong Lipunan series. This marked the beginning of the end for coins like the 1977 1 Piso. After the People Power Revolution of 1986, which ended Marcos' rule, coins bearing slogans associated with his regime became politically controversial and were fully demonetized in subsequent years. The 1977 1 Piso is not exceedingly rare, but its value increases if the coin is, even though it no longer has legal tender value. The 1977 1 Piso coin represents a living memory of a time when money was used as a tool not just of commerce, but of political messaging. It connects modern Filipinos with a turbulent period in their history and reminds them of the resilience of their national identity. The 1970s were a turbulent decade in Philippine history following years of social unrest. Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law in 1970 to suspending the Constitution and granting himself authoritarian power. His government promoted Bagong Lipunan, the New Society, as a movement to restore order, discipline, and economic growth. The currency system was one of the key tools used to support this narrative. Thus, the Bagong Lipunan coin series, including the 1 Piso of 1977, was introduced not only as monetary instruments but as state propaganda in coin form. José Rizal's inclusion on the 1 Piso coin served multiple ideological purposes. Symbol of resistance, Rizal opposed Spanish colonization using education and writing, which resonated with Marcos's claimed goals of reform and national self-reliance. Unifying figure. As a universally respected figure, Rizal's image was used to soften the hardline nature of the regime and appeal to nationalistic emotions. By placing Rizal on the coin, the Marcos regime aligned itself with revered historical values, despite engaging in authoritarian practices. The coin's introduction was also influenced by economic reasons. Inflation. Throughout the 1970s, inflation was a growing concern. The Philippine peso was slowly losing its value, requiring more robust coins like the 1 Piso to facilitate higher value transactions. Switching from paper 1 Peso bills to coins improved durability and long-term savings for the central bank. Hence, the 1 Piso coin became both a practical and political innovation. The 1977 1 Piso was carefully designed with symbolism in mind, Rizal's portrait, created with fine engraving to reflect clarity and dignity. Coat of arms represents sovereignty, unity, and the democratic ideals, even if these were suppressed under martial law. And the Bagong Lipunan banner, placed prominently to remind the public of the government's vision and direction. This careful placement of images and text reflects how coinage became an art form of national identity during this time. 1977, the 1 Piso coin was widely circulated in markets and sari-sari stores, small community shops, public transportation like jeepneys and buses, schools and small businesses. It was an everyday object, but one that subtly influenced the way people perceived authority and national values. Many Filipinos today recall seeing this coin during their childhoods, linking it with both nostalgia and political memory. Despite Marcos's vision of the new society, the 1970s also brought coins like the 1 Piso, were mass-produced to keep up with the growing monetary demand. However, the regime's focus on appearances over substance meant that monetary policy couldn't stop the eventual economic stagnation and unrest. After the 1986 People Power Revolution, which ousted Marcos, the Bagong Lipunan coins became symbols of a dark yet significant chapter of Philippine history. Collectors became interested in these coins for several reasons. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.